Hello. Hi, Caragwen. Hi, Angelia. Hello, Willow. Hi, YouTube and Facebook. Hello. Welcome. Good morning. We are now in the last week. Oh, hi, Natalie. Nice to see you. We are in the last week of our month of Aphrodite in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. I can hardly believe how quickly it feels like this month has gone. It's been, hi, Jessai, welcome. It's been just like a whirlwind April, but it's been really good to be working with her this month. I've definitely felt like an awakening to my commitment to beautifying my world, and also have been deepening into some of her other mysteries and epithets, such as looking at laughter loving Aphrodite, looking at that's genitalis. Also, interestingly, Aphrodite has a form that I think is greatly underutilized in terms of worship and practice, and that is Aphrodite Androphanos, the man killer. And I think, while we're not actually literally killing men, we would like to see the dissolution of the patriarchy, and Aphrodite Androphanos is the one that we would call to for that. Yeah, this month, Willow says, has flown by for sure. So let's dive in today and this week to our practice with Aphrodite. How wonderful to be together and have this time to honor this goddess who has been so misinterpreted and misunderstood. And we are working this month with the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, and that's by Victoria Mosley. And she did collage from vintage images in order to make this deck. And it is a very evocative deck. I really enjoy it. I'm also really excited to report. Do I have it right here? No, it's in another room. That starting next week, we will be entering the month of Oshun, and we're going to be working with the new African Goddesses deck that just came out last fall. And I'm really excited to bring that. I think it's Abiola Abrams. Abiola, I can't remember her last name right off the top of my head, but I have the deck. I've looked through it. It's absolutely a gorgeous deck filled with names of goddesses who conventional neo-paganism has forgotten in the wash of corporate capitalist and colonialist mentality. So we are going to be deepening into that study next month of that deck and all of the amazing research that went into it. But for now, let's enjoy Aphrodite. And interestingly, something to think about. Often Aphrodite is depicted as white and with like blonde or red hair, but there's also a form, an epithet of Aphrodite known as Melinus. Aphrodite Melinus is the Aphrodite of is Aphrodite who is the black night sky, the blackness of earth. And so for a more inclusive approach to Aphrodite, you can almost always find in her epithets that there is something for everyone. And so Aphrodite Melinus, Aphrodite, I think, of the melanin. Today, our card is compassion. Compassion. A crestfallen elemental has given up the fight and does not know where to turn. Her naked form is cold and world weary. She no longer has the strength to deny her vulnerability or to hide away from prying eyes. The dewy moss of the woodland floor provides a soft cushion to rest while she gathers her thoughts and prays for warmth and direction. As the misty dawn breaks, a new pathway is gradually flooded with golden light, offering a clear route out of the glade. The spirit of compassion hovers above. As an empath, the spirit of compassion feels the weight carried by the weary stranger, and her gaze remains soft, non judgmental, and patient. It is only when the elemental looks heavenward for answers that the spirit of compassion can reveal herself and point the way. The presence of this card indicates that now is a favorable time to view the world through the healing properties of compassion. Be especially aware of any strong judgments and expectations carried by you or by others, which may be freezing your ability to connect with an open heart. Practice extending sincere, unconditional love and caring to those around you, and face any problems you encounter with the sincere wish to alleviate suffering. Look heavenward for guidance and open your heart to the warm rays of compassion. I'll show the card again just because the picture is described so thoroughly in the card. There's that poor angelic winged being, and then the other elemental, and then the other being who comes in and is looking upon the scene. But this crestfallen angel can only perceive the presence of compassion if she, it looks like, looks up. And for our part, we also may have this kind of a relationship with compassion that we kind of hold it for others, but maybe don't necessarily look for it for ourselves. We might hold others in non judgment, but we're judgmental of ourselves. We might think pleasant thoughts about another person or think highly of them or of their work or of their presence in the world, but think poorly of ourselves. I think that a good way for us to frame this idea, this particular depiction of compassion, is to think about the fact that when we dedicate our practice for the benefit of all beings, we are included in all beings. We are one of the beings. So let's not really get ourselves too much in a twist about when we think about dedicating our practice for the benefit of all beings and we think, oh, that's everyone else. Let's not forget that we are here inside that. We are also all beings. We are one of the beings. Um, Further, I actually don't think that compassion is strictly empathy or sympathy, and I know that it's not pity. Compassion is a natural upwelling of great desire for everyone to be okay no matter what. And that will mean that there's going to be rectification so that those who are suffering are uplifted, but maybe those who are puffed up and overly blustery and, too much about themselves will be shrunken. That is also compassion. It's not just one way of like lifting someone up. It's also a way of bringing someone maybe down to a more realistic level. There are a lot of people in our world who turn away from suffering and who think that because something doesn't, impact them, that they don't have the right or that they don't have the responsibility to inform themselves, become knowledgeable. It's a sticky kind of a thing. We can either become sucked down the tube of something so deeply that we feel paralyzed, or we can turn away and pretend it's not happening. And neither of these things is really compassionate. the really compassionate thing to do is to perceive, become aware, inform ourselves, hold space, and ultimately to offer peace, care, and contemplative energy to a situation so that we can interact properly, so that we can be there really for someone who needs it, so that we can actually also attend to ourselves with compassion. So it's like a whole circle. It's not just for others, it's not just for ourselves, it's not just for trouble, it's also for someone who's doing so well that they're bound for a fall, or someone who's so inflated that they're bound for deflation. So today, let's try and gather our equanimity from both of those positions, both of those stances, neither feeling pity nor resentment for those who are suffering or for those who are doing great, but instead finding that middle ground where all is as it is. And in the light of compassion, all can be rectified, all can be healed, all can be improved. So that's our short bit for today, if that's what you were here for. And now let's dive into our practice. We're going to start with 3 prostrations before the shrine. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. And let's recite the Four Immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. And let's make our offerings. I just realized I need to get more water for my pot. I'll be right back. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. Oops. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Xiyin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Omahum. 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 Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxian Pusa, calling out to the one who is the ultimate in compassion and emotional intelligence. Namo Guanxian Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxian Pusa. Namo Guanxian Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxian Pusa. Namo Guanxian Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxian Pusa. Namo Guanxian Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxian Pusa. Namo Guanxian Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxian Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxin Pusa. Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa, Namo Guanxin Pusa. And our prayer to Yeshit Sogil. Yingchutaki somo kachensa dusum kunchen pema junye ki sangso dupo dechen sogilmar soa dipso chuktun nudrupso. Mother of space, foremost of Dakinis, Lady Karchensa, gatherer of the vast secret treasury of Padmakara, knower of all, past, present, and future, Mother Sugil, great bliss queen, to you we pray, grant us cities, ordinary and supreme. Ying Chuktaki Somo Karchensa Dusum Kunchen Pema Jinye Ki Zangso dupo dechen so Gilmar, so wadeb so chiptun nudrup so. And 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum. Sending out the blessings from our practice today to all in need. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshiwangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss, Yeshiwangmo, be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxian Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. And don't forget to drop your counts in the comments here on Facebook, or if you are in the Goddess Temple app, please go put them on the post in the Guanyin's Millionaires group so that we can add you into our total. Thanks so much for coming today, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye.